Okay, so now this goes on the next page. This part is the empirical formula, which you already know how to do. And so it's the same stuff you've been doing before, where you divide by its weight. So nitrogen weighs 14, oxygen weighs 16. Remember, you must get 3 numbers for each one. The smallest number, you're going to divide by the smallest number, and that's going to tell you how many nitrogens and how many oxygens you have, okay? So that's going back to the empirical formula. The reason you're reviewing that is because on some of the problems today, you're going to have to find the empirical formula first before you can actually do the molecular formula, okay? So now, for the actual problem where you have the molecular formula, do I already have my empirical formula? Are they already giving me the empirical formula? Yes, it's CH2, right? So, all you have to do is follow the formula I just gave you. The molecular formula goes on top. You're going to divide by the empirical formula. Now remember, your empirical formula is your most reduced. Thank you, sweetheart. Rory,
thank you.
This is for you, okay? And then that number is what you're going to multiply your empirical formula with, okay? Remember, your empirical formula is your smallest ratio. So last week, your objective was to get the smallest ratio of that chemical compound. Today, you can have many different molecular formulas using the same elements, okay? All right, so are they giving me my molar mass for the molecular formula? Yes. What is it?
28.
Very good. So that's going to go on top because we're using this formula right here. So 28.1 goes on top. Now I need to look for my molar mass for my empirical formula. How much does carbon weigh?
12.
12, very good. And hydrogen?
1.
1. And I have got 2 of them, so 1 times 2 will give me 2. What is my total molar mass?
Wait, so you just added them?
Yep, you're just adding them together. Guys, we need to be off the phone and you need to get on task. Okay? All right, so your molar mass for the empirical formula is 14. Boys, get off the phone. Okay, so 28 divided by 14 is how much?
2.
Yep, very good. So this is the number you're going to use to multiply into your empirical formula, CH2 times 2. This will give you your molecular formula. So how many carbons do I have?
4. No, 2.
How many hydrogens do I have?
4.
4, because 2 times 2 is 4. This is your molecular formula. Okay?
Whoa.
What questions do we have? Guys, we need to be off the phones. We need to unplug and be off the phone. Meha, that means you too. That means everybody. Huh?
Wait, so that number that you got by dividing
Mm-hmm.
2,
That's
goes
going to
outside the
be,
parentheses,
it goes outside of the parentheses.
and
Uh-huh.
you multiply it.
And then you're going to multiply it to your empirical formula. Now here, in this problem, they gave you the empirical formula, but in some of the problems on your worksheet today, you're going to have to find the empirical formula first to be able to use it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? All right, let's do number 2. Let's go to the next one. So, we need to turn that in ASAP. All right, so now let's make this a little bigger. Same thing, the left side, you need to figure out the empirical formula. You guys already know how to do that, so you guys can do that on your own. On the right side, over here, do we need to look for the empirical formula?
No, they gave it to you.
Nope, they gave it to us. Very good, it's given. And so CH is your empirical formula. And they're giving me the molar mass of the molecular formula, right? So that's going to go on top, 78. And I'm going to divide by what? Carbon is 12, yes. And hydrogen is 1. So what's the molar mass for my empirical formula? 13, very good. So 78 divided by 13, what does that give me? Use a calculator, guys. 78 divided by 13. Remember, your whole objective today is to figure out this number. That number is going to give you what you're going to multiply with your empirical formula, which will give you your molecular formula. Okay? 6, very good. So if this number is 6, what is my molecular formula? What is my molecular formula? If my number is 6, C6 and H6. Very good. This is your molecular formula. Okay? Where do we have questions, y'all?
No way.
We're good?
100%.
We sure?
100%.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and get started. There's only 5 problems today. So you're going to make sure you show all the work, okay? And you're going to make sure your name is on it, and we're going to put it up here so we can grade it, because it's real short. All right? If you haven't shown me yesterday's vocab, I already put them in there.